Ricky Stanicky sounded brilliant, and it has an amazing cast. So while I don't think the film quite lived up to my expectations, I'd say it was still an enjoyable experience, and I'm happy to recommend it. This was released in 2024. It's directed by Peter Farrelly, written by Jeff Bushell, Brian Jarvis, Jamie Lee Freeman, Peter Farrelly, Pete Jones, and Mike Cerrone. And we have a cast including Zac Efron and John Cena, Jermaine Fowler, Andrew Santino, Lex Scott Davis, and various others. And all I knew about this going into it was that, and this isn't a spoiler, well, I suppose it's a spoiler, but it's on the poster, so it'll probably be on screen just now. All I knew is that John Cena dressed up as Britney Spears. I didn't know why. I didn't know the context. That's literally all I knew going into it. And I have to say that part of it was a delight. I won't give the context. I won't spoil that bit. But I like the idea of the film. It's about a group of friends who, in their younger days, whenever they were caught doing something wrong, they would blame it on Ricky Stanicky. And that's not a real person. It's an imaginary character they made up to take responsibility for their wrongdoings. And now that they're adults and doing things that upsets their partners and gets them into difficult situations, they think maybe they can blame it on Ricky Stanicky still, but it kind of gets a bit out of hand. And I won't say any more than that. I could maybe go into a tiny bit more detail, but I won't give anything else away. And I thought it was a really decent story. As I said, it didn't quite meet my expectations in terms of, well, there are two reasons why. One, it wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be, or I guess as I hoped it would be. There's definitely comedy there. It's not that I found it unfunny, but the comedy wasn't the best. The other reason it didn't work as well is that it's quite slow for a lot of the film. It's nearly 2 hours. And honestly, I think there's maybe about an hour and 20, maybe an hour and 30 of solid scenes, or scenes that are well executed, or elements of scenes that I really think should be kept in. But there's definitely a lot of fluff and padding and slowness. So the pacing really wasn't very good, and that's another reason why it just didn't work. But the characters are very well written. The performances are brilliant. The cast is obviously fantastic. And the comedy, when it was there, was generally very good. But as I said, it wasn't quite as funny as what I'd hoped for. There were moments that were very funny, but in general, the comedy was okay, but not laugh out loud hysterical. So it's a good film. I did enjoy it. I think it's a creative concept. It's quite creatively executed. It has quite a lot to offer. There's a lot of variety in what happens. It's a very busy film. Even though it's quite slow, it's very busy. And I guess that means that there are a lot of scenes where we have a variety in what's happening, a lot of different activities going on, but a lot of the scenes just take a long time to wrap up. But I still enjoyed it. I came away from it feeling satisfied with the experience, pleased that I'd given the film a chance, and if you've been considering watching it, I'd say it's worth checking out. If this is the first time you've heard of it and you think it might be for you, give it a go. The comedy might be more appealing to you than it was to me. I still think the film will be a little slow in places, but ultimately, I'd say it's worth the time. Fun concept, reasonably well executed, well-written characters, really good performances, fabulous cast, of course. Funny, not hysterical, but definitely entertaining. And ultimately, while it wasn't amazing, I still thought Ricky Stanicky was an enjoyable experience and one that I'm happy to recommend.